Feel the pulse, feel the flame.
Ancient rhythm in your veins. You are more, you are more.
Feel the pulse, feel the pulse, feel the pulse, feel the pulse,
Feel the pulse,
feel the pulse,
feel the flame.
feel the flame.
Ancient rhythm in your veins. You are more,
You are more,
you are more.
you are more.
Yeah, yeah. I walk through the fire with the weight of my past. Every star like a lesson, every pain made me vast. Let it sit with the shadow, let it speak, let it breathe. From the mirror in the darkness, it was always me. I was running from the silence, now I sit in the void. Where the ego gets dismantled and illusions destroyed. Every fear that I buried started rising again, till I turned and faced the storm like a conscious warrior within.
I heard a voice in the stillness say,
You are the light, you are the way.
through the ashes I reclaim my name.
Now I rise, soul and fire burning my shadow away. I found the God within, I feel it awakening from the depths of the night. Now my soul is breaking in, no more hiding from the truth I've been holding in. I rise, I am every day. Hear the drum and let him speak. Every shadow that I face made the spirit upgrade. From the root to the crown, feel the energy spin. I rise, I found the God within. Every doubt was a chain, every chain had a key. Had to break the lock on my own prison just to finally be free. I was chasing validation, now I stand in my truth. See, the wound was the doorway, bring the path to the throne. Every tear that I shed built the strength in my bones. I was lost in the noise, now I move with the flow. Every breath is a prayer, every step lets it grow.
Rise, rise, from the shadow into light. Rise, rise, you were born to ignite.
I transmute the fear into power and grace. Every demon I face had my own hidden face. Now I walk with the balance of dark and divine. I don't run from the night, I let both sides align. This is alchemy living, this is truth in the flesh. Every ending I had was a spiritual death. Now I'm born from the ashes like a phoenix in gold. Every layer I share, let the real me unfold.
I found the God within. Now the universe moves. Every step that I take, got nothing left to prove. From the depths of the pain to the heights of the wind, I rise,
I found the God within.
feel the earth, feel the sky. Every shadow I faced helped me learn how to fly. From the root to the crown, let the light pour in. I rise,
I found the God within.
you are the fire. You remember your name. Remember your name.
Doom 4-4, package delivered. RTB, home heading 270. Missile, defending Sam.
Magic, Dune 4-1. 4-4 is down. Say again, 4-4 is down.
Doom 4-1, do you have shoots?
4-1 April, good shoot.
Life. Fix your face. What goes around comes right back around again. Unless you step outside that circle that you're living in. It ain't where you're at. It ain't where you've been. It's only where you're going that matters in the end. What goes around comes right back around again. Unless you step outside that circle that you're living in. It ain't where you're at. It ain't where you've been. It's only where you're going that matters in the end. I had to step back and look at my life, cause it was so black and darker than night. So finally I left to make it alright. If I take a step then it's into the light. So even in death my panic alive. The message I spread it never will die. The truth always lives, so why let it fly? Here's what I shared, the rumors I cried. I trapped in my head and I barely survived. What never was said was never replied. I was misled and never replied. So watch me get tread and wake up beside. After all that I bet I was barely alive. So close to the edge but can't be denied. They hate on my head but they never tried. And they made me bad so that's where they lie. What goes around comes right back around again. Unless you step outside that circle that you're living in. It ain't where you're at, it ain't where you've been. It's only where you're going that matters in the end. What goes around comes right back around again. Unless you step outside that circle that you're living in. It ain't where you're at, it ain't where you've been. It's only where you're going that matters in the end.
Keep doing me, they can think what they want. I guess I finally found peace with everything I did. Brought a lot of greed in the sea, but I knew all along I was preaching belief when I speak on the song. Still live for the beef on the path that I'm on. All the evil beneath, kinda sad, but I'm strong. Let the circle repeat, but I'll never be a pawn. Legacy when I leave, I see when I'm gone. The only reason if I win or lose, so I eat like a feast and I do what I do. Better beat on a beat, should've never let me lose.
To the ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. To the gods, known and unknown, Ashe. All the praise, all the glory be to the Most High. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Cosmic Warrior and 5D DJ. Back at you with another Galactic Transmission. Let's get a prayer in and let's tap into the energy. Spirit, thank you for coming through. Thank you for guiding and protecting this message. Thank you for removing any negative energy from the area. Thank you for allowing this to get to any and everyone it's intended to. And so it is.
Folks sitting low in the pines. Cut a trail with the rope, don't mind. Old tin shack by a crooked creek. Fire burns, but it don't speak. Gas jars lying in the dirt. Hands been working since it hurt. Same still running like it did. Pass from him down to his kids. Said, keep it quiet, keep it tight. Don't let smoke climb in the night. Every step already known. Same path carved in the stone. Hear the dogs way down the line. Closing distance, taking time. Still runs deep in the hills. Through the blood, through the will. Every turn, every bend, same road, taking again. Lights cut through the trees below. Moving slow, but getting close. You can run, but you can't hide from the ones who travel line. Engines killed before the ridge. Footsteps light across the bridge. Radio left back at home. Don't trust signals when they roam. Heard they mapping every trail, marking spots where people fell.
Following footsteps across the bridge. You know, but what I'm seeing is a bridge, right? A bridge at nighttime with the fog, right? But I'm also seeing a drawbridge. It's it's following other people's paths, right? It's trying to destiny swap, right? You know, if it's not your path, you know, if you're always following behind someone, right? And you don't have the eyes to see and you don't have the ears to hear, you're not going to see the drawbridge that just got lifted up above you. You're not going to see, you're not going to see your downfall that you're heading right to. This is not your path. You know, but it's when we follow other people's paths, what are we doing to our own? You know, but what path? You know, when we focus so much on other people's, it's like we're deleting and erasing our own as if it doesn't exist because we're trying to follow someone else's. You know, but it's the covenant part, right? Covenants. You know, but what's a covenant, right? You know, but it's the covenants, it's to the promises to ourselves, though. It's, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go through these tough situations because I want to learn this. Because I want my soul to grow in this way, in this aspect. I want to learn that. At one point, you know, before we came back here, that's what we had all planned out. You know, but it's our lessons for our growth. You know, it's the tried part. It's like people can notice similar trials that we've been through, right? But you don't know what was going through that person's mind. You don't know all the trials that they had leading up to that, right? But it's just it's the energy of trying to copy. You know, it's funny. It's like the Matrix wants like everyone just a cookie cutter, copy and paste. They want, you know, all dressed the same way. You all speak the same way. We all live in the same houses and drive the same fucking cars, the same fucking colors, and go to the same places and do the same fucking boring ass fucking shit. You know, it's just copy and fucking paste. But what is that? That's the removal of all uniqueness. It's our essence. You know what's interesting about that is something I was thinking about earlier. Well, I've been kind of just thinking about it. It's come up kind of. It's, you know, Gnostics and the Essenes were some of the original, you know, religions, right? Or the first original groups, right? But it's Essene, you know, but it's Gnostics, Gnosis, right? Gnosis. When we breathe, it's Gnosis, right? But we're breathing in consciousness, but essence. You know, our soul's essence, the Essenes. You know, but the Essenes and the Gnostics had very similar beliefs. But it's just interesting. I kept seeing the word essence, but it was like the word Essene, and vice versa. But it's one of the big beliefs they both believed in was the duality of everything. You know, the duality of everything. It's, you know, a lot of times people wonder why God allows things to exist, right? Why God allows things to happen. You know, but it's a tough pill to swallow. Is a lot of times we find ourselves in situations because we refuse to hear the guidance we were getting. We refuse to do something that led us, or either kept us on the road that we were on, that were leading somewhere unfavorable for us. There's so many different ways, but we're always giving guidance. We just ignore it. But it's the outside, you know, forces. It's the other people's opinions, other people's projections, other people's fears, other people, other influences, outside influences. You know, to free your soul, you have to free your mind. And to free your mind, you have to take command of all the thoughts and voices and everything that is not yours and command it the fuck out, as Yeshua instructed us to do.
So what was once just word of mouth, now it's lines they're drawing now. Granddad said it long ago, but they don't miss the things, you know. Times done changed, but not the game. Just a different kind of change. Feel it sitting in your chest, like you already guessed. Still runs deep in the hills, through the blood, through the will. Every turn, every bend, same road, taken again. Lights cut through the trees below, moving slow but getting close. You can run but you can't hide from the ones who track the line.
You know, but running and hiding. Running and hiding. You know, it's the mutual enemies. It's my worst enemy is the same as your worst enemy, is the same as their worst enemy, ourself. You know, and it's not even what other people did to us. Fuck what they did to us. What did we learn from it? What did we take from it? Well, you left it empty-handed? Well, you missed the lesson then, didn't you? But we're all guilty of it. But the lesson, it's not what was done to us, it's what we took from it. You know, I'm seeing the eeny meenies. Eeny meeny, miny, mo. It's... but it's catch the perpetrator. You know, it's us. You know, oh, someone pissed us off? Well, why did we allow them to do that? Why did we? You know, but it's all back to the accountability. The higher knowledge. It's why did I? Why did I allow this to happen? Why do I continue to allow? It starts with, why did I allow this to happen? And then situations reappear, and our pattern recognition kicks in, and then it's, you know, but once it kicks in, we recognize it and we catch ourselves as, why would I, why should I, why do I allow this to continue to happen? And it's slow evolving. It's slowly evolving. But it's the shifting of the consciousness. First, you got to catch yourself before you can rein yourself in. Then once you rein yourself in, then you start chastising yourself, and then, you know, but that's all part of the process. Speaking your mind, putting your love on the line. But what is that? It's speaking your truth. You know, but under investigation, it's the mutual enemies that are married to their decisions. You know, it's the made up facts. Oh, big fuck you too. The made up facts. Yeah, but it's the intelligence part. Was it really that intelligent? Did you really think that lie through? Oh, you didn't really think that through very much, did you? Because it's like, well, they didn't expect the investigation to go very far, right? It's like they're following the trail and they expected it to stop right here. It's like, oh, you thought it was going to end there. It's the cover up. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. And it's like, well, okay, so one lie takes more. It's like, but it's the bigger it grows, it's the more people you have to bring into it, the more people you have to, it becomes too much work, right? Because once it becomes to such an amount, it can't just be coming from one person, because then other people will look at it as like, well, what do you have against them? What are your motives? Why are you really doing all of this? Because if people are good at what they're doing, they're not gonna let other people see their full actions. Of course not. They're not going to let people see their full actions. You know, but funny thing is, you know, is people know that God's always watching, but God's always watching through your eyes, motherfucker. Idiot. Non-disclosure agreements.
Battery low.
That shouldn't have been low. That was like half charged. That sucks because I can't play that and run this light at the same time because I don't have a charger for that. Didn't have a charger for that. You know, Spirit Team. You know, it's... You know, but it's interesting too. It's non-disclosure agreements, right? But what is that? That's anything done in the spirit, right? It's the spoken words that can be intercepted, but prayers, you know, things that just happen, you know, just in the spirit, right? And not so accessible unless revealed. It's interesting too about Alphabet Boys, and I'm seeing the Hardy Boys, you know. But what is that? You know, but it's back to our path. It's being led to our path and following the clues to why am I here? Isn't that what we're all seeking? Why am I here? Isn't that what we're all seeking? Or isn't that what we all once were seeking before we gave up that venture? Why did we stop? gonna do about that? I guess we'll just play it out till it dies.
Dilated with tea does wonders for my scattered brain, and it's such a relief when I'm fine, means I'm fine, and it ain't just a mind game. You're hard on yourself, only see imperfections, darling, even mirrors can lie. So look in my eyes,
You know,
let me
it's the imperfections part, and even mirrors can lie. You know, okay, but that's interesting too. You know, but what I'm getting with that is the energy of sometimes we reflect, well, you know, when something pisses us off in someone else.
Battery low. Power off.
You know, but what I was getting was when it's something, when someone pisses us off, or when we look at someone or someone does something and there's something about that pisses us off, it's because it's trying to teach us something about ourselves. It's something that we're supposed to investigate. What is it about this person, or what is it about this action, or what is it? We have to pinpoint what it is exactly. You know, but it's okay. So that's back to that energy of people finally being able to realize of, you know, why they felt it the way that they felt it, you know, towards you. It's like they start to realize, like, okay, I was pissed off at them, but not necessarily because of what they were doing. It's because of the reflection that it was showing, and it's they're finally coming to a higher sense, a higher consciousness is what it is. Finally coming to a higher consciousness. You know, but it seems like drained. The battery dead. It's draining. It's, you know, but it's back to the NDAs and our agreements and our path. And, you know, when we follow our path, you know, we have pit stops designated for us that only we can refuel at, that only we can recharge at. It's for us. It's not for anyone else. Because, you know, they weren't made to stop here. You know, it's not their stop. And so, you know, it's going to be exhausting and draining. And that's why it'll look so much more effortlessly when you're following your own path. Well, one, because it is, you know. But two, because, you know, you get the refueling when you need it. And that's for somebody. But, yeah, I might hop on later. I don't know. I'm definitely going to charge this for a little bit. But thanks for tapping in. Thanks for your likes, your shares, your comments. Thank you for the exchange of energy. And